Hey guys, it's Steve and Adam, and well,
Hello.
hey, we got a guest, Brian. Hey,
Hi,
Brian.
Brian.
Hey guys.
So you may be wondering why we're all dressed silly and have silly backgrounds, but it's
I'm not dressed
important.
silly.
I haven't ever been able to. I didn't have the heart to tell you previously. You do dress silly. So we've got Brian on. Brian is a really special guy. He's got he runs one of the coolest conferences, along with an amazing group of people, um, in the tech community called MMS, Midwest Management Summit. And we wanted to kind of talk to Brian and get some, kind of drum up some interest in the conference. If you haven't ever heard about it, we wanted to give you some background and find out who Brian is and find out what the conference is. So, so what do you think, Steve? We're gonna grill him over here.
I
So
don't
he's
know. We're going to keep Brian happy, so we keep getting to go to MMS. But that's my thinking. But hey, let's see what Brian wants to say about MMS and have some good conversations. I think.
all right. So, Brian, hello, welcome to the show. You probably have never watched our videos and don't know what you just signed up for, but this is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
So, Brian, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes.
Uh, Brian Mason. I'm the guy who runs MMS now. In the old days, Microsoft used to run it, right? So it was called the Microsoft Management Summit. And when they ditched it, I didn't want to see that great conference go away. And I fought a long time while it was happening to try to keep it small, and they just kept growing it and growing it. Then they merged with Tech Ed, and then it just got like really gross. And then it turned into Ignite and 52 trillion people. I just like a nice little small conference. And that's like just exactly what Miami is going to be. It's like one of the smallest conferences you could ever go to, right? So why do you want a small conference? Because your friends that you know who've been going to MMSs before, or people you're actually going to meet and become really good friends with, are going to these things. They're in the same boat as you. They're having trouble, struggling, figuring out how to do this crap for their daily work. They see other people who are doing running into the same problems. They sit down and figure out, how do you work out your problem? Here's what I did. And you come up with cool solutions. You meet good speakers, great speakers. And by the way, this is the best conference, not one of the best. It's the best. It's good because it's small, and that means your chance of walking up to a speaker and asking them a question is really good. Go try to do that at a big mega conference. The guy's not going to have time for you. You can't sign 1,000 autographs, right? But in a small conference, he's got time to listen to your question. Oh no, you're doing it wrong. You want to do this? Boom, that was worth the price of my conference right there. You answered that thing, and it was the master who told me what to do. So I know he's right.
So Brian, we are what, 3 weeks out, I think, from 3 weeks out, a month out, about a month out.
Month.
Sorry, I don't know what the
Month.
math is here. So
It's a full
beginning
month,
on,
Adam. Full month.
okay, fair enough,
Don't
fair
don't
enough.
don't freak me out. Like
Uh,
I've still got my sessions to prepare for the proper MMS and the big one and at MOA.
the first week of May, every year, is the Midwest Management Summit at the Mall of America, which is coming up. There's still slots available if you haven't registered. If you're watching this, if you're watching this shortly after we released it, there's still slots available. If you're watching this in like June, there would be slots available for the next one in
Yes,
2024.
there's always slots
Um,
available for the next MMS. Make
Always.
sure you sign up.
Um, but here's the great thing. Brian, when is this Miami Beach edition scheduled?
Um,
Put you on the spot.
Technically, the week of Halloween. So that might not be greatest for parents. You know that the reason, part of the reason we have two conferences a year is we were selling out the first one all the time. But the first one also is stepping on Mother's Day. Maybe that's a big deal. Maybe it's your wife's anniversary. Maybe it's your birthday. Maybe you've got some kind of thing that is, you just can't ever go. You hear all great things about this conference, but you are locked out of it. Well, you get a second chance every year in the fall. We do a second conference, and that's why you want to go to the one in May is awesome because it's going to be even smaller than the one in at the Mall of America. I think maybe we're targeting around 300 people. Now, 50 of those are speakers. What's the ratio for attendee versus speaker? And what are the odds you're going to be spending time with that guy at lunch, breakfast, cabana session, drinks afterwards, out at the beach? You're going to meet those all-stars and make some friends, and not just them. The attendees are pretty smart too, and you'll find out that networking is the biggest part of the conference.
Yep. Okay, so the dates, the official dates here, we're 211 days out as of the recording of this on March 31st.
April 1st.
And so this it starts October 30th. Starts on is that a Sunday night, October 30th? Yeah. And it goes through November 1st. And or sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Sorry, the opening reception is Sunday the 29th, October 29th. Boy, we're gonna really mess this up. It's the last week, the last week of October. So Sunday the 29th
or the first
of
week
October,
of November.
Through
you know how you make
November
this easy? Just
1st.
Look at Steve. He's got the web address over his head, MMSMOA.com. That'll give you the dates. He's got palm trees. He's got sand. He's got beach. This is why you really want to go to Miami. It's like that for the after hours. You're going to see a beautiful location, and people invent fun things on their own, like spontaneously they're getting up early and taking morning walks on the beach together. All sorts
Don't get
of cool
suckered into
networking
that,
things.
Jordan. I'll never forget you for that.
They come up with this on their own. It's a great location to network. And where else are you going to see palm trees and sand and learn IT?
Yep,
exactly.
So okay, so that I think that ratio is 6-1 on speakers to attendees. So for the big conference, it's probably double the attendees, but also
650 attendees, but it's 80 speakers on top of that, and then a whole bunch of Microsoft devs working the Microsoft tent.
Yeah, so it's still only 8-1. I mean, look, I think in high school, I had a higher ratio of students to teachers at that point. Like, so this you really can't beat this. I mean, the idea that you can sit down at lunch and sit at a table with some of the best minds in this industry and in the community and share with them, I think is phenomenal. It's one of the coolest things about this.
One thing that I'd probably put in there as well, Adam, is why I enjoy going to these conferences is because I'm sitting there and having a whole week with like-minded individuals, because end-use compute is the main drive for MMS. Yes, we do Azure, we do a whole heap of other technologies, but these are the people that do the same things you do. Having that conversation, talking through that tech and talking through the concepts and the shared experiences is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it's almost like a cult, but it's a good cult. Like it's the one that your parents want you to join.
That's the one that makes you money.
Yeah,
without being the leader.
I have made so many connections, so many friends, so many just wonderful conversations with people at these conferences. I think my first conference was at the Phoenix conference in 2019. And interestingly, Brian threw me in and made me do a session the very first morning of the very first time I ever showed up to MMS. I had to present. Had to. It was a wonderful experience. It was great.
I did ask.
You did ask. And I've been doing it ever since, and it was amazing. And so this I don't know, it was a life-changing moment for me to show up to this, but the people that have come to these conferences, the people that we've been able to make connections with, have been phenomenal. I mean, every night we're up till 2 a.m. And most of the time we're talking. Some of us are. There's always a pile of people. But we're bonding and we're talking tech and we're sharing experiences, and the fact that there's so many Microsoft folks there, so many devs and program managers there that want to get your feedback, and just be able to sit down with them and give them ideas about, hey, this is how I'm using your product. Can you maybe improve it? Or here's a bug that I've got. You get these tent sessions, or what do we call it this time? Stargazing session at this next one, where you get to go and book a time slot with your favorite speakers or favorite Microsoft folks doing the tech that you want to talk about, and go and sit down and give them ideas or talk about bugs you're having or whatever. it's having your voice heard there's something really, really powerful about that. And this conference really opens those doors. And I couldn't recommend this more.
Definitely.
So Brian, let's talk a little bit about what are the topics? Who's our target audience for these conferences? I mean, are we sitting here talking about like
Systems
how to use
management.
Teams and
It's
stuff?
systems management stuff, right? If you're managing Chrome OS or Windows machines or Android devices or any kind of device, if you're managing it, this is a conference for you. That's
Cool.
just what we do. You know, we're not going to talk about Exchange, or we might, but we're probably not going to. There's not going to be a session on it, right? But Steve's right. You will be talking shop all day and night. You know, when you get done at work, you leave that stuff behind. Wife doesn't want to hear about this. But the fun part about this is, man, you can just keep going tech all night long, and it's nonstop, and you just learn so much.
So Brian, what are the chances that I'm going to end up in a session and find out that it's just a marketing session for some vendor that sponsored the conference? I mean, I know that there are some of those, but like
there are, and we make that really.
How many? What's the ratio of those compared to just folks from the community?
Don't dismiss them too quickly, because some are pretty good. There's first off, you might win something really cool, some kind of prize. Second, you might just pick up a tool that could really help you, because Microsoft doesn't do that, and they're filling a need that Microsoft just doesn't care about, or isn't fixing the right way. But these guys are doing it in aces, and they'll show you how to their product can do it really quickly. And so we make it clear that you're going into a sponsored session, but there's a very good reason you might want to be doing that for yourself.
But and I guess sorry, my I guess my point on that, because obviously we do have sponsors. We don't want to be negative on sponsors.
Sponsors are
right?
important.
But what I meant was from a
they don't. They are
more traditional conferences. I think lots of conferences tend to be sponsor heavy, where every session is a sponsored session type format versus what we're getting here, which is
you're not going to get
most
that
of it's
with
just
this,
folks from the community.
But the reason we have sponsors is because we think that those sponsors can actually help the end user. In the end, would I want sponsors? Would I do them? No, I'd rather just have a clear hallway and just go about my business. But Microsoft's not solving every single problem, and these guys can help you. So that's why we don't pack the house with too many of them, because we did that before, and it's kind of hard to walk around. We get a nice set of the best sponsors in there.
Yep.
You can ignore them, or you can walk up, get some swag. You might learn a cool product. I never intended to go get Nomad 15 years ago, but we ended up buying it because we met them there. I don't know. It happens. I've seen how many people have patched my PC because they wanted to spin the wheel at the
wheel of fish. Well,
Exactly.
awesome. So we've given you the website. Go to mmsmoa.com and go check out the sessions. Go check out the sponsors. I mean, check out the sponsors. Check out the FAQ. I think there's even like a letter on how to convince your manager to send you to the conference.
I don't have a fresh version of that. We need to rewrite that.
So probably one thing I'd be saying right now is also start looking at. Now is the time to have the conversation for Miami if you haven't already had the conversation around MOA, because get it into your next year's budget. Your manager wants to know what they need to budget for training and education, and this is something that should be budgeted for. And
if you're wondering what are you going to learn there, just look at the sessions that we have that are coming up for MOA this May. You can also look back at Miami of last year. You kind of get an idea. They're going to be current. We're not repeating everything that just happened at MOA. You're going to get the latest and greatest up at that time, which means we'll probably just have 2 speakers, and it'll all just be GPT driven and Copilot, and we don't have jobs anymore. I don't know.
Somebody's going to be
sitting on the beach.
So Brian, do you have a we'll put a link in the in the description and stuff. But is there there's a Midwest Management Summit YouTube channel? Do you have a short link to that, or is it just it's YouTube/MMS MOA? I think, right? Something like that. I think that ought to
Challenge
work.
me to look because it's
Yeah,
right
youtube.com/mmsmoa.com. That'll get you there. And so there are, over the years, there have been, so each day they do a recap and they do interviews of folks and give highlights and things. So you can go back through and see all of the different sessions that we've done and all the different conferences and where they've been. And hey, I know that girl.
Yeah, you do.
So you see all the folks and kind of get an idea what the conference looks like and feels like. And I think that's, give you can at least hear testimonies from other folks that have experienced the conference. So we'll put a link in the description for that. So, hey, we're not gonna give you a hard sell on this, but we definitely want to encourage you, if you've got training budget, you can get your boss to send you to a conference that doesn't look like a boondoggle. This really is one of the best ones to go to, regardless of what you think about the light up jacket.
He meant the best again.
Yes.
Fine. The best it is. Well, I mean, what I meant, Brian, was that of all the MMS conferences, the beach edition is one of the best to go to.
You know what? This one will be kind of fun too, because unlike last year, we are going to have a beach party. The welcome reception will be out on the beach. So come on.
Yes.
How is that a way to start off the week?
You might not want to tell your boss that though, because you
Don't
might
send
have
your
to
boss
bring
this
your boss
video.
with you.
The session starts the next day, but we're going to welcome you on the beach.
Yeah.
Get you in the mood.
Yeah.
The hotel, the whole setup last year was wonderful. That was really, really fun.
Oh, well, wait till you see we got lined up for 2024. Pretty
It's gonna be
cool.
amazing.
Oh, and this year in May, I think we're going to have the attendees pick the logo for it. We'll announce that new location in May.
Oh, are you? So okay, I was going to ask that question.
Oh no,
So
the contract's all signed.
This is with the spring conference is at Mall of America, and it's always been there. And then we've had these rotational conferences. So we had a Phoenix one, we had New Orleans. Did Midway happen, or did it get canceled? That got canceled because of COVID. San Diego, and then we've had Miami. This is the second year at Miami. So I was going to ask you if this is the new home for the fall, but it sounds like maybe 2024 has got a new place, huh?
Yep.
Hey, all right, that's cool. So if Miami's not your speed, skip this one and wait for the next one for next year, or hit Mall of America if you want to go hit an indoor roller coaster and go get all the things you could ever need in one place.
Exactly.
Just saying. All right. Well, if people have watched this long, man, all right, go sign up. Sign up.
Sign up.
Brian, thank you so much for being on with us and talking about MMS. Really can't thank you enough for letting us be involved with it and be part of the conference. And so, folks, go sign up. Love to see you there. Tell us when you sign up. Let us know that you saw the video, just so we know that this helped or something. That's even cool. So we can convince Brian that this is worth doing again next year.
Comments below.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.